This episode is in the middle of a multi-part series. You may not understand some of the context or the references, and you might not find the jokes funny. For a better experience, go back to the Wretched Episode 0. You won't find the jokes any more funny, but at least you might understand them a bit.
This is The Wretched, an actual play podcast of a game by Chris Bezette and played by Ben Maddox. Episode 7: A New Home.
Hello, and welcome to The Wretched, with me, Lord of Vrillier, the tentacle-faced Adonis, and all-round massive green symbol of sex, Cthulhu, and me, Derek, Starspawn of Cthulhu, Ultraviolet Bumhole, King of Clubs, Berlin Darling. Yes, Derek, how have you been this week?
I've been great, Dad. I've been going down the clubs. I went to Berghain, I went to Trezor, I went to About Blank, and I got off my noddle.
I hope you didn't drive the Cthulhu-mobile there, Derek.
No, I'm staying in Berlin, Dad, where the public transport is very good.
Yes, well, should we get to the show?
What are we doing again, Dad? My head's completely tanked.
We're doing The Wretched. You know, The Wretched, where that talentless hack before, who previously hosted the show, talked bollocks and that, and we've taken it over.
Oh yeah, Dad, I remember, it's great. I really love this podcast now we've taken it over. Maybe you should tell the people how it happened.
Well, as you know, I co-hosted with the hack last week, and after some negotiation...
You hypnotised him, Dad.
Well, I did hypnotise him, Derek, yes, but also I paid him 20 quid and a bottle of beer.
He'll go for anything, he's such a cheap twat.
That's right, Derek, yes. Well, after that, he said he would relinquish hosting of the show, and Big C, which is what I call myself.
And I'm Big D.
That's right, Derek. We get here in the CM.
That's Cthulhu-mobile for the listeners.
Yes, we come here and we host the podcast much better than that twat ever did. Isn't that right, assistant?
Yes, that's right.
Assistant?
Yes.
I think I'd like a cup of tea, please.
Same again, Cthulhu, with extra algae.
That's right. Make sure the algae is rancid.
Will do. I'm off to go and get it now.
Well, now that loser has gone to get my cup of tea, I think we can get on with the show, Derek.
That's right, Dad.
So, Derek, what happened in the last episode of The Wretched? You must have listened to it.
Dad, I've been out banging it for the last 2 weeks. I can't remember nothing. I've had so many pills, and I've also been hired as lighting at the Kit Kat Club. So when people wear fluorescent paint on their nipples, they glow up from my bumhole.
Well, that's very good, Derek, but we are doing an RPG podcast. Don't you remember?
I know, Dad, but there's so much going on in Berlin, you know what I mean?
Alright then, Derek. Well, I tell you what, I'll do the job.
Here you go, Cthulhu. Cup of tea, extra algae.
Is it rancid?
Yes. I left it outside and it got rancid and covered in like flies and bird shit and that.
Oh my god, my favourite cup of tea. Now, assistant.
Yes, Cthulhu.
Would you just piss off, please?
Alright, I'll be in the kitchen.
Yes, make my algae burgers.
You really like algae, don't you, Cthulhu?
I loves it. Anyway, so last time on The Wretched, Ben, the ship's doctor, I'm just looking up the notes here. You're very good at this, Dad. Thank you, Derek. I thought I was. You were a natural. The way that Lovecraft bloke painted you was completely unfair. Yes, Derek, the way he portrayed me as a ship-destroying, evil tentacle-flayed monster is not true. I lay in the silent city of Rillier for centuries, Derek, thinking about one thing. What was that, Dad? Becoming a DJ. And now you are. You're hosting the top RPG podcast in the world of games and that. Is it the top one, Derek? Oh, absolutely, Dad. There's no better ones. You play a critical role in the RPG world. Well, it's nice to be the best at something, Derek. Thank you. I wasn't complimenting you. Anyway, Ben, the ship's doctor, he told a story about... You're very good at this, Dad. Thank you, Derek. He told a story about his mate being killed and that, him killing him and that, and then built a thing to go out into the ship, and he's probably going to go out into the ship and die. Isn't that exciting? Yes, it is. And what do you think's going to happen this week, Derek? I don't know, Dad. No idea. It's because it's a game, isn't it? I know, but you could have a guess. Well, I think Ben, terrible name, the ship's doctor, will probably get eaten by the monster or something. That's very likely, Derek, because the monster hates him, doesn't he? That's right. Why? Because he's called Ben, isn't he? And Ben's a twat. That's right. Assistant?
Yes, Cthulhu?
How's my dinner coming along?
It's all right. It's fine. It'll be done in 20 minutes.
Oh, great. Just in time for the show to close down.
How's the show going?
It's actually great. I mean, much better. I'm sure if you speak to the listeners, they'll probably think it's much better than what you did, you crap asshole.
Yes, Cthulhu. Can I go back and carry on cooking now?
Yes, you better have. I'm getting hungry. Listen to that. That's my stomach rumbling. Anyway, Derek, okay, so can you remember how we play this game? Yes, Dad, I remembered the rules of the game before I got off my nodule, and my mind thing got wangled. Okay, Derek, so can you tell us? Yes, so the way we play it, Dad, it's very simple. Tell the listeners, Derek, not me. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, listeners, hello, this is Derek, DJ Derek with the ultraviolet bumhole, ready for you to dance in front of my lighting majesty. Alright, Derek, just get on with it. Alright, Dad, well, what you do is you roll a die. What kind of die, Derek? You roll, Dad, the Cthulhu die. That's right. And then that decides how many prompts we're gonna do, and then after that we read the prompts, we come up with the ideas. That's right, Derek. And then we write them. How about that, Derek? I've been thinking about that. Yes, Dad. Well, you can't write, can you? No, Dad, you never taught me. Don't blame my parenting. I'm not blaming your parenting, Dad. I mean, it's very difficult when you're asleep underneath the sea in the sleeping city of Rillier. That's right, I couldn't teach you nothing. That's right, Dad. But I can't read, and I can't be bothered, Derek. That's right. So, hang on a minute. Assistant?
Yes, Cthulhu?
You know the bit at the end of this podcast?
What, you mean the bit with the writing? The work part?
That's right.
Yeah, I know it.
You're doing it.
Oh, am I?
Yes, you're going to do it, and then you're going to do the acting bit at the end, because that's hard work as well.
Alright. Your algae's nearly ready.
Lovely. I can't wait to snaffle my tentacles around it.
Alright, can I go and finish now?
Yes.
Alright, see you later.
Piss off. Alright, so Derek, you roll the dice, you come up with the thingies, and then you do the thingy, is that correct? That's right, Dad. Alright, so, who's gonna roll it? Can I roll it, Dad, please? Can I roll it? Okay, Derek, you can do it this week and I'll do it next week.
All right then, Dad. So, I'm rolling a die here. Oh, I hope it doesn't make me pull from the Jenga tower, because that makes me all nervous. Oh my lord, I only gone and rolled a 1.
You did that last week as well, didn't you, Derek?
Yes, I think I roll low numbers.
Well, it's just 1, but we'll move the plot along anyway, won't we, Derek?
Will we?
Well, that twat in the kitchen will.
All right then, Dad. So, shall we have a look, shall we?
Yes, Derek, let's have a look. Do you want to remind the listeners what the suits do, Derek?
Oh, I'd love to, Dad. It's my favourite part of the podcast, because as you know, being a piece of lighting equipment myself, I am very into the technical aspects.
That's right. When you were born...
How was I born, Dad? Who's my mummy?
You must know, Derek, that stars born of Cthulhu are not born of normal means.
No, Dad? How are they born?
Do you really want to do a Cthulhu and the Stars chat on this episode?
Oh, please, Dad. I've got to know who my mummy is.
Alright then, Derek. So basically, I'll go up in space, I'll shag a star, and then you comes out.
Oh, so I am made of stars.
That's right, Derek. You are made of stars.
Is that why I have the ultraviolet spectrum coming out of my bottom hole?
That's right. That is the gift the star bequeathed to thee.
Oh, that's wonderful. Anyway, shall I get on to the thingies?
Yes, please, Derek, please do.
Alright, so hearts, they represent your ship systems, your life support, your water purification and the like. When you draw a heart, you're interacting with them in some way, doing essential repairs, booting up the system that was previously dormant. Like, imagine your Cthulhu-mobile runs out of fuel and you fill it up with fuel. It's like that.
That's a very good analogy, Derek.
Thanks, Dad. Alright, diamonds represent your ship's physical structures. When you draw a diamond, you're physically engaging with the ship.
Does that mean shagging it?
No, Dad. I think that means patching up the hole, sealing the doors behind you, or accessing new areas. It's like, imagine your Cthulhu-mobile, you find that there's a secret compartment, and you go into it, and there's a magical nightclub with a beautiful ultraviolet light on the wall.
That's very good, Derek.
Clubs, they represent a crew. When you draw a club, you're reminded of the people you've lost and the reality that you're sharing your space with their remains.
That's very sad, Derek.
Yes, that's like, imagine opening the boot of your Cthulhu-mobile and seeing a dead body in there, and it being like a mate of yours who was clubbing with you last night or something.
Are you trying to tell me something, Derek?
No, Dad, honest. Spades, they represent the creature. It may have made its presence known physically, or you may have to deal with the mental toll the hunt is having on you. So let's imagine if you parked your Cthulhu-mobile in the woods to bury that friend of yours you just murdered.
What?
Just a story, Dad.
Alright then, Derek.
And then a bear come along and you had to scare it off with your ultraviolet bumhole.
That sounds suspicious, Derek.
No, Dad. It's just a story.
So, we've got to draw a card, have we?
That's right, Dad. So, draw the card and you tell me what it is.
It is the 3 of Hearts, Derek.
Okay, Dad. Let's have a look at the 3 of Hearts and what it tells me. We know, from the rules, that that's the ship systems. Okay, 3 of Hearts. While you slept, the fire suppression system was activated. What caused the fire, and how will you make sure it doesn't happen again? Pull from the tower. Okay, so I've got to pull from the tower. Have we got Bob on the drums?
Bob? Bob, would you get ready on the drums? Alright, Bob. Okay, then, Bob, go. I'm gonna pull from the tower, Derek. It's very wonky, Derek. I found one. And Bob? Very good, I managed to do it. Okay, so what should we do, Derek?
Well, I think, Dad, we should change it slightly. I think we need to move the plot along.
I agree with you.
So what happens is that he is on the new ship and he sees the fire catch in the Wretched, and the Wretched is burning, and he sees it,
and it gives him hope. Why would it give him hope, Derek? Because it kills the creature. Okay. Gives him hope, but also he knows that he's lost all of his friends and that, and also that his ship is destroyed, so he has to hope this ship works.
That's a very good idea, Derek. Would you write it down in the document?
Yes, Dad, I'll do that right now.
That was exceptionally quick, Derek. For someone who can't read and write, you typed very well.
That's right, Dad. It's a strange thing, isn't it? That I can't read or write, yet I can type incredibly. It wasn't just some idiot doing a stupid continuity error, was it, Dad?
Absolutely not, Derek. Absolutely not. Anyway, so, that's the way. Do you want to read out what you've read in the notes, Derek?
Yes, Dad, I'd love to.
Go ahead then.
Hang on a minute. He's at the other ship, looking around, mentions the war and that, sees a glow in the Wretched, then it catches fire. He ruminates on the people he's lost and his new life. He hopes there's food, he hopes there's water, and he realises he really doesn't want to die.
That's very poetic, Derek, for someone who can't read and write.
That's right, Dad. It comes naturally, through my genes.
They're very tight on you, Derek.
Yes, we're quite an amorphous breed, the Starspawn.
Anyway, so thank you all for listening to The Wretched.
Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. You can join the Patreon at patreon.com/5G for D.
That's 5G for D, stands for 5 Games for Doomsday.
Thank you, Derek. And also, you can join the Discord. That is 5gamesfordoomsday.com.
That's 5G for D.
Thank you, Derek. And you click on the post, there's a permanent invite there, and you can join the Discord where there's lots of fun. You can also contribute to the new show that is coming out next week.
Is Ben going to be hosting that, Dad?
Yes, I can't be bothered to do anything else, Derek.
All right then, Dad.
Also, thank you very much for listening, and...
Is your algae?
Can't you see I'm bloody recording?
I'm sorry, Cthulhu.
Well, next time, just bloody wait until I bloody finished. I'm a professional.
Yes, I understand that.
You gonna write this bloody thing now?
I hope that Derek hasn't written something trite like he realises he really wants not to die or something.
Shut up. You've got no fucking creative thing in this. You just write, alright?
Alright, Cthulhu.
Alright, well, thank you all for listening, and please indulge our assistant. He's not very good at his job. And just time for me to say, Derek, say goodbye.
Goodbye, listeners.
And also me, myself, Lord of Cthulhu, Rilliers Master, Tentacle Magic, and I'll see you next week on
The
Wretched.
I'm gonna go and write it. Day 7. Salvage ship The Wretched. Ship's Dr. Ben Maddox reporting. I don't read their filthy tongue, darling. So the name of the ship, scored into the side in their nasty script, was alien to me. So I've named this ship Avalon. A place of repose, darling. I hope I can rest here because, as I speak, the Wretched is no more. It has conflagrated into the stars, and with it, I firmly believe, that vile creature. And so here I sit, on the black bridge of my new home, Avalon. Oh, my day's travails have been hard, my love. We were not meant to leave our home. The difficulty of moving even a small distance in space is a testament to that. That small distance, from the Wretched to Avalon, is the hardest I have ever worked. so hard that I collapsed on the floor of the airlock and slept as soon as I entered the ship. I said goodbye to them before I left. Those gracious souls, their lives torn away from them by that vicious beast. I covered their bodies in blankets. I said a prayer over them. You'll laugh at me, I know, but it felt like the only thing I could do to respect their lives. Oh, delete that part, darling, after you've listened to it. I wouldn't want you to get in trouble. I packed some food and water. Not much, enough for a couple of days. I ate a final meal and put on my suit. How I could have lost so much weight in so little time is a riddle to me. And I'm a doctor. My suit hung off me. No matter. As long as it was sealed, as long as it protected me from the relentlessness of space, that was all that mattered. All that was left was the creature. How would I exit the ship with that evil thing patrolling? I could not know for sure, my love. The thought of it, those teeth tearing into my suit, my lungs emptying of air, my brain dying as that thing consumed me in the blackness of space. Oh, that is no way to die. Like dog food. I could only hope that its attraction to the music would give me time. I set up the speakers as far away from the airlock as I could. I prepared everything that I would take with me. The wrench I built, my bag, and a huge jug of water. I activated the speakers and heard that terrible skittering. When I was sure it was as far away from me as it could be, I heaved open the airlock and walked into space. I barely remember what happened in those few short moments, except that it had fooled me. That bastard. It's cleverer than I thought. As I stepped away from the wretched, it leapt out at me, screaming at me, "Oh God, your voice!" I truly thought I would die in that moment. I swung my wrench at it and caught it a blow on its torso, and it knocked it into a spin. I struck it again, and it wailed, and thick black globules of its blood splashed onto my suit. Then I turned for the ship. I pushed my way through space. It seemed that I'd injured it seriously enough that it fell back to the wretched. It screamed at me as I pushed open the door of Avalon. I didn't even need the wrench to open the airlock, but I'm so glad I took it with me. I sealed the door and fell to the floor. Exhaustion overtook me, and I fell asleep. I was woken by a golden light. I lifted myself to my feet and looked out across the few short meters to the wretched. It was ablaze. My crewmates finally getting the cremation they deserved, and with them the bastard thing that had driven them to. For a moment, I was consumed by a feeling of loss. Not of my crewmates, not at the fear of my life, but of that ship. That ship that had been my home, that had sheltered me when that thing came. It was like losing a parent, like losing a guardian, losing that ship. I wept to see it. The feeling of grief, though, was soon replaced by elation. That thing was dead. This ship was habitable. I'm sure it has a distress beacon. I've not had time to look around it yet, but for the first time in days, since I met that vile thing,
feel like I may make it out of this alive. That I may see you again, my love. That we will be together. I want nothing more than to see you grow, to see you succeed, to see you blossom. I love you, darling, and I wish you happiness from my new home, Avalon. I have work to do now. This is Ben Maddox, ship's doctor, signing off.
All music by Chris Bizet. The game can be bought at loottheroom.itch.io. If you want to support the podcast, you can do that by going to patreon.com/5G4D. Thank you for listening.